Here. We're in Chestertown, Maryland, and we were here for an event with the Chesapeake Heartland. Can you talk a little bit about what we just experienced today?
I'm Jalen Money, Deputy Director of Washington College's Starr Center for the Study of the American Experience, and I'm the Vice Chair of the Maryland Commission on African American History and Culture. I started with Chesapeake Heartland as a community member, and it's just been awesome welcoming folks from all over our state and all over the country into community curation, preserving their own history, and finding more about their own roots throughout.
Yep.
My name is Darius Johnson. I'm the project director for the Chesapeake Heartland Project at the Starr Center. The Starr Center is a signature center at Washington College. I'm an alum of Washington College, class of 2015. I'm also a native of the Kent County community, where this is where this project started. And then we've expanded from Kent County all throughout the Eastern Shore to preserve the history of local communities like the ones we have up here. And that's just what makes me passionate. I love the rich everyday life that I grew up being immersed around. The lawn parties and the family reunions and the cookouts and just all the gatherings that quite frankly we're losing. And I think it's just important for us to just do whatever we can to rekindle that memory, repair, reconnect each other. And those are the types of things that push us to be a better society. So for me, it's beyond history. It's just about how could we improve communities for people through these.
Sir.
I'm Andre Nieto Jaime. I'm the program specialist of the Beach to Bay Heritage Area. I've kind of loved history ever since I was a kid. I was going to go down a different path, and then I went to college. I had really passionate professors in history, and they kind of put me towards this path of asking questions and collecting people's stories. And I think that's just the most important part of history, is telling the stories that need to be told and that are often hidden and obscured.
And Darius, you're the oldest man in this group. At age 33, did I hear?
33 in September.
33, a Virgo? A Virgo?
Libra.
A Libra. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Remember the date? I'm a student of the game.
So how would you three young men, what would you tell other young men? What are you getting out of this? What's happening? Are you picking up girls or what? What's going on here?
I mean, honestly, I got into this because I wanted to better understand who I was as a black man in America. And I had moved away, was living in Baltimore County for a few years, but then I just felt something calling me back to the Eastern Shore, calling me back to just my roots. And I really used the local history as a way to understand who I was, where I came. Basically, but just saying that for me, history is just about understanding who I am, where I've come from, and then what I have potential to do. That's the blueprint. And I think for anybody, especially young folks, look at the past as the blueprint. It's something that you have potential yourself in, and you can build on that.
And how about yourself? You have Mexican heritage, Spanish heritage. How can you tell a young man who has similar heritage to you? I mean, what's the important story that you feel is important out of this?
So where I come from on the lower Eastern Shore, I feel like there's not a lot of this Hispanic, Latino heritage kind of being told just because we're seen as newcomers, but it is there. And I think it's important that, we're the ones that kind of have to tell that story. No one else is going to tell it for us. We have to put in the work to have ourselves be represented there.
Great. And Jalen, I'm going to let you have the last word. Tell me, where did the passion come from? Is this something that you've had since you were a kid? Is this something that you're going to transfer into your own kids or your own family as you go forward?
I certainly hope so. And I think between the three of us, our ancestors collectively grappled with more than they could understand. And I constantly have been in environments at the kitchen table, being tucked in to go to sleep, walking around this community en route to and from church. And I hear stories. I think storytelling can be regenerative towards justice. So I love sharing that with the fifth graders that come to visit on a field trip, the same as I do an elder who might have gone to school with my grandparents. And what makes me most passionate about all the tools and resources young learners, certainly younger than us, have access to is the ability to make that dynamic. They can reach a lot wider audiences to share about the value of the community that they're from. And I especially feel passionate about that for rural communities. We need it now more than ever.
And what's the website or Instagram page or whatever social media people can go to for these two organizations?
ChesapeakeHeartland.org.
Beachesbayswaterways.org.
Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for your passion and for talking to me today.